In the vast expanse of the Wild West, where the sun blazed down on dusty trails and winds whispered through barren plains, there was a tale that lingered in the hearts of those who dared to listen. It was a story of mystery, silence, an unlikely bond that would change lives forever. The town of Willow Creek sat nestled between towering mesas and endless deserts. Its people were rugged and resilient, their faces weathered by time and hardship. Among them lived a young girl named Clara, whose eyes held more sorrow than any child her age should bear. For years, she refused to speak, her lips sealed as if bound by some unseen force. Her silence was both a mystery and a burden to those around her. Clara's parents had tried everything to coax words from her mouth. They pleaded with her, sang songs, even offered her sweet treats, but nothing worked. The townsfolk whispered about her condition, some suggesting it was a curse, others believing it was simply fear buried deep within her soul. Little did they know, the truth was far more unbelievable than any rumor could conjure. Until one day, a donkey arrived in Willow Creek. A peculiar creature with fur as gray as storm clouds and eyes that seemed to hold wisdom beyond its years. The animal belonged to no one, yet wandered freely, drawing curious glances from everyone who crossed its path. Some dismissed it as just another stray, while others saw something extraordinary in its quiet presence. But for Clara, this donkey was different. She felt drawn to it, though she couldn't explain why. It all began on a crisp autumn morning, when Clara sneaked away from her family's ranch. The air was filled with the scent of dry grass and pine needles, and the horizon stretched endlessly before her. As she walked along the edge of the desert, the ground beneath her boots cracked under the weight of her steps. The world felt vast and lonely, much like her own heart. Then, in the distance, she spotted the donkey standing near a watering hole, its head tilted slightly as if waiting for her. Her heart raced as she approached, unsure what compelled her to do so. The donkey didn't flinch or shy away. Instead, it stood still, gazing at her with an intensity that made her feel exposed. For a moment, she thought she heard a voice, not loud enough to disturb the stillness of the morning, but clear enough to resonate within her mind. "Clara," it said softly, almost like a whisper carried by the wind. She froze, her breath caught in her throat. No one had called her name like that, not in years. Her parents used it out of duty, her teachers out of necessity. But this was different. This was personal, intimate, as if the donkey truly knew her. Tears welled up in her eyes, and for the first time in what felt like forever, she found herself wanting to respond. But the words wouldn't come. Instead, she reached out hesitantly, placing her hand on the donkey's soft muzzle. Days turned into weeks as Clara spent every spare moment with the donkey. She brought it scraps of food from the ranch, led it to fresh water sources, and brushed its coarse coat with trembling hands. With each passing day, the connection between them grew stronger. Yet, despite their bond, Clara remained silent, her voice locked away in some hidden corner of her being. But then, one evening as the sky painted itself in hues of orange and pink, something remarkable happened. Clara and the donkey were sitting by the riverbank, the gentle lapping of water creating a soothing melody around them. Suddenly, the donkey lifted its head, its ears perked forward as if listening to something only it could hear. And then, once again, Clara heard that voice, soft, melodic, and unmistakably calling her name. Clara. This time, something inside her snapped. A floodgate opened, releasing emotions she hadn't realized she'd been holding back. Her chest heaved as sobs escaped her lips, and finally, after years of silence, she spoke. "Who are you?" she cried, her voice hoarse and raw, yet undeniably hers. The donkey turned his head toward her, its eyes gleaming with understanding. "I am your guide," came the reply, not spoken aloud but resonating deeply within her mind. "I have come to help you find what you lost." "What did I lose?" Clara asked, wiping away her tears. "Your voice," the donkey answered simply, and with it, the courage to face the world. Clara's mind raced as memories long buried resurfaced. She remembered the day her brother disappeared, the day her world shattered into pieces. She had been too afraid to tell anyone what she saw, too terrified of the consequences. Guilt consumed her, silencing her completely. Now, with the donkey's guidance, she began to confront those fears. As the days passed, Clara practiced speaking, starting with simple words and gradually building her confidence. The donkey remained by her side, offering encouragement in ways only it could. Together, they ventured deeper into the wilderness, exploring caves, crossing rivers, and braving storms. Each challenge strengthened Clara's resolve, until one day, she stood tall and proud, ready to reclaim her life. But little did they know, their journey was far from over. One fateful night, under a sky blanketed with stars, the donkey revealed its true purpose. "There is someone who needs your voice," it said solemnly. "Someone who has been searching for answers as long as you have." Clara's heart pounded as realization dawned upon her. The donkey wasn't just helping her. It was leading her to uncover the truth about her brother's disappearance. With newfound determination, she followed the donkey through treacherous terrain, past rattlesnakes and scorching heat, until they reached a hidden canyon shrouded in shadows. Inside the canyon lay a small campsite, abandoned save for a single figure huddled by a dying fire. It was her brother, alive but broken, his eyes hollow with despair. When Clara saw him, her voice faltered, but the donkey nudged her gently, reminding her of her strength. Taking a deep breath, she stepped forward and called out his name. At the sound of her voice, her brother looked up, disbelief etched across his face. "Clara," he whispered, his voice barely audible. In that moment, the dam broke, and the siblings embraced, crying tears of joy and relief. The donkey watched silently, its mission complete. For years, it had roamed the Wild West, seeking those whose voices needed liberation. Clara and her brother were merely two among many, but their story was unique, a testament to the power of perseverance and the bonds that transcend even the deepest silence. As dawn broke over the canyon, casting golden light upon the reunited siblings, the donkey turned and walked away, disappearing into the horizon. Clara watched it go, grateful for the gift it had given her. From that day forward, she vowed never to let fear silence her again. And so, the legend of the girl who refused to speak for years and the donkey that whispered her name lived on in the hearts of those who dare to believe in miracles. As the days turned into weeks, Clara and her brother, Ethan, began to piece together the events that had torn their family apart. It was a story of betrayal, survival, and resilience, a tale that would haunt them but also bind them closer than ever before. Ethan explained how he had fled from home after overhearing a conversation between two strangers at the local saloon. They spoke of a hidden treasure buried deep within the canyons, guarded by dangers unknown. Driven by curiosity and naivety, Ethan ventured out one night, believing he could claim the riches for his family. But the journey proved far more perilous than he imagined. He encountered bandits, endured harsh weather, and nearly starved to death. In desperation, he sought refuge in the canyon, where he remained hidden, too afraid to return home lest he be blamed for abandoning his family. Clara listened intently, her heart aching with both sorrow and pride. She realized now why she had been unable to speak. Her guilt over not stopping Ethan, her fear of being judged for failing to protect him. Yet here they were, reunited, their bond stronger than ever. The siblings decided to leave the canyon and return to Willow Creek, but not without gathering evidence of the treasure hunters' plans. If such men existed, they posed a threat not only to their family, but to the entire town. Armed with courage and determination, Clara and Ethan set off on foot, guided by the stars above and memories of the ranch below. Their journey back was fraught with challenges. The desert tested their resolve with its unforgiving heat and scarce water sources. At times, Clara doubted whether they would make it, but Ethan's unwavering optimism kept her going. "We're stronger than this," he reminded her whenever she faltered, his words echoing the same strength she had rediscovered in herself. One evening, as they camped beneath a canopy of twinkling stars, Clara found herself gazing at the donkey once more. Though it had vanished from sight, she felt its presence lingering nearby, watching over them like a guardian angel. "Do you think it will ever come back?" she asked Ethan softly. He smiled, brushing dirt from his hands. "Maybe. Or maybe it's already done what it came here to do." Clara nodded, understanding the truth in his words. The donkey wasn't just an animal. It was a symbol of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there is always a way forward. When they finally reached the outskirts of Willow Creek, the townsfolk greeted them with disbelief and joy. Word spread quickly of Clara's newfound voice and Ethan's miraculous return. Gatherings were held in their honor, songs composed in celebration of their bravery. But Clara and Ethan knew better than to bask in the spotlight. Their mission was far from over. Together, they approached Sheriff Hayes, a grizzled man whose eyes held wisdom earned through years protecting the frontier. With trembling hands, Clara recounted the story of the treasure hunters, describing their appearance and intentions as vividly as she could. Ethan added details about the canyon and the dangers lurking within. Sheriff Hayes listened intently, his brow furrowed in thought. "This isn't the first I've heard of such tales," he admitted grimly. "There are whispers of outlaws using these legends to lure unsuspecting souls into traps. We need to act fast." A posse was formed, consisting of the sheriff, Clara, Ethan, and a handful of trusted townsfolk. They prepared themselves for battle, arming themselves with rifles and supplies. As they rode toward the canyon, the tension in the air was palpable. Clara clutched the reins of her horse tightly, her heart pounding with anticipation. This was it, the moment of reckoning. Upon arrival, they discovered signs of recent activity: discarded tools, broken crates, and faint trails leading deeper into the wilderness. Following these clues, they stumbled upon a makeshift campsite surrounded by cliffs. From their vantage point, they observed several men huddled around a map, arguing fiercely amongst themselves. "They must be the ones," Ethan whispered, gripping his rifle with steady hands. Clara nodded, her mind racing. She remembered the donkey's guidance, the lessons it had taught her about courage and conviction. Taking a deep breath, she stepped forward, her voice cutting through the tense atmosphere. "Put down your weapons," she called out, her tone firm and commanding. The men froze, startled by the unexpected intrusion. Slowly, they turned to face the posse, their faces masks of shock and anger. One of them, a burly man with scars running down his cheek, sneered. "Who do you think you are, girl? Meddling in affairs that don't concern you?" "I'm someone who won't let you hurt my family or my town," Clara replied, her gaze unwavering. Beside her, Ethan stood ready, his expression resolute. The confrontation escalated quickly. Shots rang out, echoes reverberating through the canyon walls. Clara ducked behind rocks, her heart hammering in her chest. Despite her fear, she focused on the task at hand, recalling the strength she had fought so hard to regain. In the chaos, Clara spied an opportunity. One of the outlaws was attempting to escape with the map tucked under his arm. Without hesitation, she sprinted after him, her boots kicking up dust as she chased him across uneven terrain. Her lungs burned, but she refused to give up. Finally, she tackled him to the ground, pinning him beneath her weight. "You'll never get away with this," she growled, her voice filled with fury and determination. The outlaw struggled against her grip, but Clara held firm until reinforcements arrived. Together, they subdued the remaining outlaws, securing the map and ensuring the safety of Willow Creek. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the canyon in hues of orange and purple, Clara sat beside Ethan, catching her breath. The adrenaline of the fight slowly gave way to relief and gratitude. They had succeeded, not just in stopping the outlaws, but in proving to themselves that they were capable of overcoming anything. That night, as they returned to the town, they were met with cheers and applause. Clara smiled shyly, still in use of the attention, while Ethan grinned broadly, basking in the moment. Sheriff Hayes approached them, tipping his hat in respect. "You too have done something extraordinary," he said sincerely. "Willow Creek owes you a debt we can never repay." But Clara shook her head, her thoughts drifting to the donkey that had started it all. "It's not just us," she murmured. "There's someone or something that deserves credit too." Little did they know, the donkey's journey was far from over. Across the Wild West, it continued to wander, seeking others burdened by silence, offering them the gift of liberation. And though Clara and Ethan might never see it again, they carried its lessons with them, forever changed by the mysterious creature that had whispered Clara's name. Years later, when Clara became a respected figure in Willow Creek. Known for her wisdom and courage, she often told stories of her adventures to the younger generation. She spoke of the donkey, the canyon, and the day she found her voice. Her listeners would sit spellbound, their imaginations ignited by her words. And somewhere, amidst the vast expanse of the Wild West, the donkey roamed freely, its eyes gleaming with purpose, its heart filled with the knowledge that every soul has a voice waiting to be unleashed. The years that followed Clara and Ethan's return to Willow Creek brought about a transformation in the town. The once quiet, unassuming settlement began to thrive under the influence of newfound unity and purpose. Clara, now a young woman, became a symbol of resilience and strength, often sought after for her wisdom and guidance. Her voice, once lost, was now a beacon of hope for those who felt trapped in their own silence. Ethan, too, found his place in the community. He took over the family ranch, expanding it with innovative techniques he had learned during his time away. His experiences in the canyon had taught him not only survival skills, but also an appreciation for the land and its resources. Under his care, the ranch flourished, becoming a model for sustainable farming in the region. Yet, the shadow of the past loomed large over them both. The treasure hunter's map, though secured by Sheriff Hayes, remained a tantalizing mystery. Many speculated about its contents, some even attempting to follow the trail themselves. But Clara and Ethan knew better than to chase after illusions. They had faced enough peril in their lives. The promise of riches paled in comparison to the peace they had found a home. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in vibrant shades of orange and pink, Clara sat on the porch of her family's cabin, strumming the guitar she had learned to play during quieter moments. Her music carried a haunting melody, one that seemed to echo the struggles and triumphs of her life. Beside her, Ethan listened intently, his eyes reflecting the same admiration he had always held for his sister. "Do you ever wonder what would have happened if we hadn't found each other?" Ethan asked suddenly, breaking the serene atmosphere. Clara paused mid-strum, her fingers lingering on the strings. "Sometimes," she admitted softly. "But then, I remember the donkey and how it led me to you. There's no such thing as coincidence, Ethan. We were meant to find each other." Her words hung in the air, heavy with meaning. Both siblings knew there was more to their story than mere chance. The donkey's appearance in their lives had been nothing short of miraculous, a divine intervention that had set them on a path toward redemption and healing. As the weeks turned into months, Clara and Ethan continued to grow closer, their bond deepening with every shared experience. They worked side by side, rebuilding not only their family's legacy, but also the trust within their community. The people of Willow Creek looked up to them, inspired by their courage and perseverance. Stories of their adventures spread far and wide, reaching even the most remote corners of the Wild West. But whispers of the treasure hunters persisted, fueling curiosity among the more adventurous souls. One day, a group of travelers arrived in Willow Creek, drawn by tales of a mysterious map. They claimed to be seekers of truth, eager to uncover the secrets buried within the canyon. Clara and Ethan met them with caution, wary of the dangers that lurked in pursuit of such legends. Among the travelers was a young woman named Lila, whose sharp eyes and determined demeanor caught Clara's attention. She spoke of dreams she couldn't ignore, visions of gold and glory that haunted her nights. Though skeptical, Clara saw something familiar in Lila, a spark of determination that reminded her of herself when she first set out to find her brother. Reluctantly, Clara agreed to guide the group through the canyon, warning them of the perils they might face. Along the way, she recounted her own journey, sharing lessons learned from hardship and triumph. Lila listened intently, her resolve strengthening with each word. By the time they reached the hidden campsite, she had become a trusted ally, her presence easing the tension among the group. Inside the canyon, they uncovered remnants of the treasure hunters' operations, abandoned tools, cryptic symbols etched into rock walls, and evidence of battles fought long ago. But no treasure awaited them, only the realization that the true wealth lay in the bonds formed between people, in the courage to face one's fears, and in the stories passed down through generations. When they returned to Willow Creek, Lila chose to stay, captivated by the spirit of the town and its people. She joined Clara and Ethan in their efforts to build a brighter future, her energy invigorating the community. Together, they established a school, teaching children the importance of resilience, empathy, and the power of storytelling. Years later, as Clara sat beneath the shade of an ancient oak tree, surrounded by students eager to hear her tales, she thought back to the donkey that had started it all. Its mysterious whisper had ignited a flame within her, a flame that burned brightly still, though it had vanished from her life. Its influence remained, woven into the fabric of everything she did. And so, the legend of the girl who refused to speak for years and the donkey that whispered her name continued to inspire generations. It was a reminder that even in the harshest landscapes, where silence reigns and shadows linger, there's always a voice waiting to be heard, a light waiting to shine. As the stars emerged in the night sky, casting a gentle glow over the town, Clara closed her eyes, feeling the warmth of countless stories within her heart. The Wild West was vast and unpredictable, full of mysteries yet unsolved. But for Clara and those she touched, it was a place of endless possibility, where courage could conquer fear and love could bridge any divide. And somewhere, amidst the rolling plains and towering mesas, the donkey roamed freely, its mission ongoing, its heart forever tied to the souls it had helped liberate. The years passed like rivers flowing through the canyon, steady and unrelenting, shaping the lives of those who called Willow Creek home. Clara grew older, her hair now streaked with silver, but her spirit remained as vibrant as ever. The school she had helped establish flourished under her guidance, becoming a cornerstone of the community. Children from all corners of the Wild West came to learn not just reading and arithmetic, but also the art of storytelling, their voices echoing the courage and resilience that defined their ancestors. Ethan's ranch expanded beyond anyone's wildest dreams, its fields lush with crops and its corrals filled with healthy livestock. He became known far and wide for his innovative techniques, earning respect not only as a farmer, but as a man who had faced adversity and triumphed. Yet, despite their individual successes, Clara and Ethan never forgot the bond that had brought them back together. Their connection remained unshaken, a testament to the power of family and shared experiences. Lila, once a wanderer driven by dreams of treasure, had found her true purpose in Willow Creek. She became a teacher at the school, her passion for learning igniting fires in the hearts of her students. Her journey mirrored Clara's in many ways, a quiet soul force to confront the world, discovering strength they never knew they possessed. Together, the three of them formed an unbreakable trio, each contributing to the growth and prosperity of their beloved town. But even as life seemed to settle into a rhythm, the Wild West was never truly still. One fateful morning, as the sun rose over the mesas, casting golden light upon the land, a stranger rode into Willow Creek. His horse was weary, his clothes dusty, and his eyes carried the weight of secrets untold. The townsfolk gathered curiously, murmuring amongst themselves as he dismounted and approached Sheriff Hayes' office. Clara, who happened to be nearby, felt a shiver run down her spine as she watched him. There was something familiar about him, though she couldn't quite place it. When he finally spoke, his voice carried a resonance that sent chills through her very being. "I'm looking for someone," he said simply, his gaze sweeping across the crowd until it locked onto hers. "Someone who knows the truth about the canyon." For a moment, time seemed to stand still. Clara's breath caught in her throat as memories long buried resurfaced. The day she had first heard the donkey's whisper, the night spent searching for Ethan, the battles fought against outlaws. All of it came rushing back. And then realization dawned upon her. "You're one of them," she whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. "One of the treasure hunters." The man nodded solemnly, his expression softening. "My name is Marcus," he introduced himself, tipping his hat, "and I've come to make amends." Clara exchanged glances with Ethan and Lila, who had joined her by this point. They could sense the gravity of the situation, the potential for danger lurking beneath Marcus's calm demeanor. But there was also something else, something that hinted at redemption, at closure for a chapter long thought closed. Marcus explained how he had been part of the group that had sought the treasure in the canyon years ago. Driven by greed and desperation, they had ventured deeper than any sane person should go, uncovering truths that defied explanation. Among the ruins of an ancient civilization, they had discovered artifacts unlike anything they had ever seen, objects imbued with powers beyond comprehension. But instead of bringing them wealth and fame, these treasures had cursed them, tearing their lives apart. One by one, we fell victim to our own desires, Marcus confessed, his voice heavy with regret. Some turned mad, others disappeared without a trace. I managed to escape, but not before witnessing horrors no man should endure. Clara listened intently, her heart aching for the pain this man carried. She understood all too well the burden of secrets, the toll they took on the soul. Yet, she also saw an opportunity, a chance to uncover the final pieces of the puzzle that had haunted her family for so long. With caution, yet guided by compassion, Clara agreed to accompany Marcus back to Canyon. Ethan and Lila insisted on joining them, unwilling to let Clara face whatever dangers lay ahead alone. As they prepared for the journey, the townsfolk gathered once more, offering blessings and words of encouragement. This was more than just another expedition. It was a quest for answers, for peace, for justice. The ride to the canyon was fraught with tension, the air thick with anticipation. Clara couldn't shake the feeling that they were walking into something far greater than they realized. The landscape around them seemed alive, the rocks whispering secrets only the wind could hear. At night, under a sky blanketed with stars, Clara found herself gazing upward, seeking guidance from forces unseen. When they finally reached the hidden entrance to the canyon, Marcus hesitated, his hand resting on the hilt of his revolver. "We don't know what awaits us inside," he warned gravely. "But if what you told me about your brother is true, then perhaps this place holds more than just ruin." Clara nodded, her resolve firm. "Then let's find out." As they ventured deeper into the canyon, the world around them shifted subtly. Shadows danced along the walls, taking shapes that defied logic. The ground beneath their feet grew softer, almost spongy, as if absorbing their every step. And then they saw it. A temple-like structure carved into the rock, its surface adorned with intricate carvings that told stories of a people long forgotten. Inside, the air was cool and still, carrying the faint scent of earth and stone. Artifacts rested on pedestals, glowing faintly with an otherworldly light. But it wasn't the treasures that captured Clara's attention. It was a figure standing amidst them, cloaked in shadows, watching them with eyes that seemed to pierce straight through their souls. "Who are you?" Clara demanded, her voice steady despite the fear gripping her heart. The figure stepped forward, revealing itself to be none other than the donkey that had changed everything. Its form shimmered, shifting between animal and something more, something divine. "I am the guardian of this place," it spoke, its voice resonating within their minds. "And I have waited for you." Clara stumbled backward, her mind reeling. You led me to my brother. You gave me my voice." "Yes," the creature replied gently. "But my work here is done. The time has come for you to take up the mantle." "What mantle?" Ethan asked sharply, stepping protectively in front of Clara. "The mantle of protector," the creature explained. "This canyon holds knowledge and power that must never fall into the wrong hands. For generations, I have watched over it, guiding those who needed liberation. Now, it is your turn to ensure its safety." Clara stared at the creature, her heart pounding with both awe and dread. She thought of the lessons she had learned, the strength she had gained, and the love she had found in Willow Creek. Could she truly shoulder such a responsibility? Was she ready? Before she could answer, the ground began to tremble, shaking the very foundations of the temple. From the depths emerged figures, phantoms of the treasure hunters who had succumbed to the curse, their cries filling the air with despair. Marcus drew his revolver, firing shots to ward them off, while Ethan and Lila stood ready, protecting Clara from harm. "Fulfill your destiny," the creature urged, its voice rising above the chaos. "Only you can seal the rift." Clara hesitated no longer. Drawing upon every ounce of courage she possessed, she stepped forward, her voice ringing clear and strong. "I accept the mantle," she declared, her words echoing through the canyon. "I will protect this place for the sake of all who seek peace." As she spoke, a brilliant light erupted from the center of the temple, enveloping everyone present. The phantoms dissolved into nothingness, their cries silenced forever. The artifacts pulsed with energy, their glow dimming as the power within them stabilized. And then silence. When the light faded, the creature was gone, leaving behind only a single feather, its final gift to Clara. She clutched it tightly, tears streaming down her face as the enormity of her new role settled upon her. "We'll help you," Ethan promised, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "Together, we'll keep this place safe." Lila nodded fervently, her eyes shining with determination. "And we'll tell the story, to remind everyone of the importance of balance, of respect for the unknown." As they made their way back to Willow Creek, the four of them walked side by side, bound by a mission greater than any they had faced before. The canyon would remain a secret, its mysteries guarded fiercely by those who understood their value. And though Clara would always carry the weight of her responsibility, she did so with pride, knowing that she was fulfilling a legacy begun long ago by a mysterious donkey whose whispers had changed everything. In the end, the Wild West was not just a land of vast deserts and rugged mountains. It was a place where destinies intertwined, where courage and compassion shaped the course of history. And somewhere, amidst the rolling plains and towering mesas, the donkey's spirit lingered, watching over those who dare to believe in miracles.